Hey everyone, I'm Parker. Chances are, at the first sign of a sniffle, you've reached for vitamin C, thinking it'll stop a cold dead in its tracks. It's a belief that fuels a massive billion-dollar industry. But what if I told you that for most of us, the science behind that is, well, it's pretty shaky? Today, we're going to figure out if all that money is well spent, or if we've all just bought into a really convincing myth.
So let's just start with a number that shows why this is such a big deal. In the United States alone, people spend over $1 billion a year on vitamin C supplements. That is a gigantic industry built almost entirely on the promise of better health.
And, that brings us right to the heart of the matter. With all that cash flying around, are we actually getting the health benefits we're paying for? Or is this just one of the most successful marketing campaigns in history? To get to the bottom of this, here's how we're going to break it down. We'll look at what vitamin C actually does in the body. We'll tackle that great cold myth head on, explore the hidden risks of taking way too much, figure out who genuinely needs it, and then deliver a final verdict. Should you be reaching for a pill or maybe just a piece of fruit?
Okay, first things first, let's get back to basics. Before we can even talk about supplements, we need to have a solid understanding of what vitamin C's job is in our bodies and why it's considered so important in the first place.
So, vitamin C, or ascorbic acid if you want to get technical, is what's called an essential nutrient. That word essential is key. It means that unlike a lot of other animals, our bodies physically cannot make it. We have to get it from the outside world, from our food or from supplements. And don't get me wrong, this stuff is genuinely critical. It's crucial for building collagen. That's literally the stuff that holds our skin and bones together. It works as an antioxidant, it supports our immune cells, and even helps us absorb iron better from plants. It really is a workhorse. But here's the thing to remember. Essential does not automatically mean that more is better. All right, let's get to the main event, the number one reason people buy vitamin C, the common cold. This idea is so ingrained in our culture. It's become one of the most persistent health myths of our time. So where did this idea even come from? Well, a huge part of it came from the Nobel Prize winner Linus Pauling back in the 70s. He was a huge advocate for taking massive doses of vitamin C, and because he was so influential, the idea just stuck. But since then, decades of research have painted a very, very different picture. So what does the best science we have today actually say? For that, we turn to something called the Cochrane Review. This is the gold standard of evidence. It's a gigantic analysis that pulled together data from studies with over 11,000 people. It's about as definitive an answer as you can get. And what did this massive review find? For the average person, how many colds does taking vitamin C every day actually prevent? Well, the answer, based on the highest quality evidence, is pretty much zero. It does not stop you from getting sick. Okay, but what about making colds shorter? This is where it gets a little interesting. The data shows that if you're already taking it, it might shorten your cold a tiny bit. But look at these numbers. For adults, an 8% reduction. If you have a normal 7-day cold, that works out to about half a day. For most people, that's the grand prize for all those supplement dollars. So let's just recap the bottom line from the Cochrane Review, because this is crucial. For most of us, it doesn't prevent colds. And, get this, taking it after you already feel sick does absolutely nothing. Now, there's one important exception. People under extreme physical stress. Think marathon runners or soldiers in the Arctic. They did see a real benefit, about a 50% drop in colds. But for the rest of us sitting at a desk, the benefit is tiny. So we've established the benefit is minimal for most. You might think, well, what's the harm? This is where the story takes a turn, because taking too much vitamin C isn't just a waste of money. It can actually be harmful. Let's look at the risks. To stay healthy, an adult man needs about 90 milligrams a day, a woman around 75. You can get all of that from a single orange. But the tolerable upper limit, the most you can safely take, is 2,000 milligrams. A lot of popular supplements come in 1,000 milligram packets, pushing you way closer to that ceiling than the tiny amount you actually need. And going over that 2,000 milligram limit can have some really nasty consequences. Studies have shown that men taking 1,000 milligrams a day actually doubled their risk of developing painful kidney stones. High doses are also famous for causing diarrhea and nausea. Our bodies simply can't absorb these megadoses, and all that excess has to go somewhere. So, if high doses are risky and offer little benefit for most people, who exactly are all these supplements for? Who is the person that truly needs to be taking one? And this right here might be the most surprising slide of all. According to national health data in the US, only about 7% of adults are actually deficient in vitamin C. That means a whopping 93% of us are already getting everything we need from the food we eat. Now, that 7% is really important. People who smoke, for instance, have higher needs. So do people with certain medical conditions that mess with nutrient absorption, or people who have really limited access to fresh food. For these specific groups, a doctor-recommended supplement isn't just a good idea, it can be a medical necessity. Okay, so this brings us to our final verdict. For the 93% of us who aren't deficient, what's the smartest, most effective way to get the vitamin C our bodies actually need? Just take a look at this comparison. A supplement gives you one thing, ascorbic acid. That's it. But then look at what real food gives you. A single red bell pepper is loaded with vitamin C, sure, but it also gives you vitamin A, fiber, and folate. Food delivers the vitamin as a complete package, with other nutrients that all work together. A pill just can't compete with that. So what's the takeaway here? What's the game plan? It's actually really simple. Number one, and this is the most important, prioritize food first. A single red bell pepper gives you more than you need for the whole day. Number two, if you are in a high-risk group, talk to your doctor about a modest supplement. We're talking 100 to 200 milligrams, not 1,000. And finally, if you're really concerned, don't guess. Get tested. A simple blood test is the only way to know for sure. So that leaves us with one final question to think about. The next time you see a bottle promising to boost your immunity with 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, you have to ask yourself, is this product based on real medicine, or is it based on a billion-dollar marketing myth? And that's all for this explainer. If you enjoyed this deep dive that separates the real science from the sales pitch, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks so much for watching.